Hello students, this is a new chapter included in your syllabus of electronics. It is feedback amplifier. However, we have already covered amplifier. Operational amplifier is one type of feedback amplifier where we generally use the negative feedback. And in feedback amplifier this chapter, we are going to discuss different type of feedbacks in amplifier circuit. There is positive or negative feedback, what will be their effect and impact, and superiority of one over another. First, let us discuss the different types of amplifiers. Now, how many types of amplifiers may be prepared for solving different problems in electronics? First, I am making a table. In this table, I am giving the heading first type of amplifier. Second, input, corresponding output, then transfer gain, then ideal Ri means input resistance, then ideal Ro or R0, that means the output resistance. First type of amplifier is generally known to all of us, that is voltage amplifier. In voltage amplifier, what will be the input? Input will be voltage, output will be of the dimension of voltage, transfer gain, that will be AV equals to the ratio of the voltages, that is output voltage by input voltage. In ideal case, the input resistance is infinity and the output resistance is 0 for one voltage amplifier. Number 2, current amplifier. In current amplifier, what will be the input? Input will be current, output also will be current. Transfer gain, that can be written as AI, that will be equals to ratio of output current by input current, that is I0 by II. In that ideal case, the input resistance will be 0, output resistance will be infinitely high in order to get the current amplified. Number 3, this is called transconductance amplifier. In transconductance amplifier, the first we start from the gain, then you can easily understand that what type of input and output should be required there. Transconductance amplifier is written as GM. You have gone through the transconductance in triode and transistors. Conductance is opposite or reciprocal to the resistance. Resistance is V by I and conductance will be I by V. So output current divided by input voltage. In that case, both should be infinity, Ri and Ro. Number 4 is trans resistance amplifier. In this case also, let us start from the gain. It is written as Rm, R suffix m. Resistance means V by I, so it will be output voltage divided by input current. In that case, both will be 0. So what should be the input and output in these two types of amplifiers? In that case, I am expecting the output by input. So output will be current, input will be voltage. In that case, reciprocal to that, input will be current, output will be voltage. Because this is the ratio of output by input, output should be voltage, input should be current. Here also it is the ratio of output by input, so output should be current, input should be voltage. This is the logic. So we are going to discuss with these 4 types of amplifiers and we will try to look at the circuit diagrams. So let us try to sketch first circuit number 1. 1 stands for voltage amplifier. So what type of circuit for a voltage amplifier, a simplified voltage amplifier should be there? the voltage amplifier, you should have first one input voltage. The input voltage source can be written as Vs, and it will be connected with some internal resistance Rs, or you can call it series resistance. There will be another resistance through which the voltage drop in the input circuit will be measured. This will be termed as Ri, input resistance, across which you are going to measure the input voltage. And in the output circuit, there will be signal gain, that is AV into Vi, or V input, AV into Vi, and this will be connected with the output. This end there will be one output resistance R0. It will be connected with some parallel resistance RL, or load resistance, and across these two terminals you are going to measure the output voltage V0. So this is the circuit, and you have to couple these two input and output circuit in order to get amplification. There should be some coupling between the input circuit and output circuit. This is for circuit number 1, that is voltage amplifier. Similarly, how you can design current amplifier? In case of current amplifier number 2, this one, current amplifier, the circuit will be little different. In the input circuit, you are first having one current source, and you can write it as Is, similar to this Vs, and it will be connected with some series resistance. It was connected with the series resistance Rs, but here the resistance will be connected with the Is in parallel circuit. So this will be Rs, and there will be internal resistance connected, Ri. Look at the difference between these two. First, with the voltage source, Rs was connected in series, but here with the current source, Rs is connected in parallel. That is the difference between the current input and the voltage input circuits. So this is the input circuit, and in the output circuit there will be again one current source that can be written as Ai, multiplication factor Ai, into I input Ii. With that, parallel Ro will be connected, and finally there will be one RL, load resistance, and current flowing through it will be equals to I0 equals to IL. Very simple. So this is the input circuit and this is the output circuit. Input and output, you have to make coupling between these two in order to get the amplifier. Other two are the combination of these two. Number 3 is transconductance amplifier. Look at the transconductance amplifier, and now you go back to the table. In the transconductance amplifier, what is the input? Transconductance amplifier input is voltage. What is output? Output is current. So you first try to understand these two circuits. If you understand these two circuits, then understanding of these two will be very much easier. How? See, input is voltage, so input part will be like the voltage amplifier. Output is current, so output part will be the circuit like the current amplifier, and a combination of these two, this part and that part. Similarly, for trans resistance amplifier, input is current, output is voltage, so this will be this part and that part, this and that. Okay, so number 3, how we are going to design number 3? Input is voltage. As input is voltage, input circuit will be like the voltage circuit. So input circuit, there will be a voltage source, that is Vs. With that, one series resistance Rs will be connected. With that, there will be the internal resistance Ri, and circuit complete. Output circuit will be like the current circuit. How was the current circuit? There was some current source. Here the multiplication factor is G, so I can write it as Gm into Vi. With that, in parallel, Ro was connected, and with the whole circuit in parallel, output resistance or load resistance RL was connected, and through this line I0 current was flowing. You have to make a coupling between these two, input and output circuit. Similarly, for number 4, as I have told already, look at number 4, concentrate on the table. It is trans resistance amplifier. Input is current, output is voltage. So input current will be the current part, and output will be like the voltage part. So sketch the input part first. there will be some current source Is, it is connected with the resistance Rs, Ri is already connected with it, internal resistance. Then this part will be, output part will be like the voltage part. There will be some voltage source, with that RO is connected, RL is connected here. Across that you are going to measure the output voltage V0, and here amplification is Rm into II, because the input part is current, amplification factor is Rm, so it will be Rm into II. Now we have to couple these two parts in order to get amplification. So understanding is not very difficult, just you have to look at the combination. The voltage amplifier and current amplifier are the basic parts. The transconductance amplifier and transresistance amplifier is the combination of these two, either this with that or this with that. That you have to know. First, if you understand the table, understanding of other parts are very easy. Now I am going towards the amplifier. How one amplifier is designed. One basic feedback amplifier. A basic feedback amplifier will have some basic components. First, you have to have some signal source. This may be voltage signal or this may be current signal. First, signal source. Then there will be a mixer network. I will explain the working of the parts. Then there will be the basic amplifier part. Then comes the sampling device, a sampling network. Okay, and in bottom there will be the feedback network. Now the working of all these things. Signal network, it will send signal to the mixer one way. The mixer network, this will send the mixed signal to the basic amplifier. The basic amplifier will send the signal to the sampling device or sampling network. There will be the load resistance connected. This is RL, across which I am going to measure the output, whatever it be, current or voltage. From the sampling network, a part of the output is being fed to the input again through the feedback network. Try to understand. First signal source, then mixer, then the basic amplifier. So basic amplifier, this part is input, that part is output. Output is going to measured across this RL. I am trying to take one part of the output here through some drainage or channel and trying to feed it in the feedback box or feedback network, and after certain tuning, the feedback signal is being transmitted to the mixer network like this, and this is the complete feedback amplifier. So what is the difference between one basic amplifier and basic feedback amplifier? In the feedback amplifier, we will use one part of the output again in the input. This is going in this way, a part of the output is again going to feed in the input in some cyclic way. There are certain advantages for that. It gives better stability of the amplifier. That is why we generally do use the feedback in different amplifiers, and there are advantages of negative feedback, positive feedback, everything. Positive feedback that may be useful for oscillator, the negative feedback that may be used for op-amp or different kind of operational amplifiers, etc. So in this part, some touchy things are there inherent in the mixer part and in the sampling network. Otherwise the whole thing will be basically stable. But in the sampling network and the mixer network, you have to do some correction in circuit whenever you are going to use it for voltage amplifier, or you are going to use it as current amplifier, or transconductance amplifier, or transresistance amplifier. Depending upon the end result in the sampling device and mixer device, you have to change the connection. How we can change the connection? Suppose I am using, first I am concentrating on the sampling network part. Okay, sampling part. This part, sampling part. In the sampling part, first let me consider I am using first voltage sampling. Voltage sampling means this amplifier is basically a voltage amplifier, and I am taking a part of the output voltage and trying to feed it in the input circuit. I am taking some voltage from the output device. Okay, so how the sampling connection will look like? First I am sketching this part. This is the basic amplifier, BA, basic amplifier. Then from that the connection is done in the sampling device. So suppose this is the connection and this is the sampling device. This is your sampling device, a sampling network, SN sampling network, and you are trying to take a part of the voltage and trying to feed it in the feedback network. So for voltage sampling, the connection will be like that. From this point, one connection downwards, from this point, another connection downwards. And you are going to feed it in the feedback network. Then this part of that will go again in the mixer device. Understood? So in the sampling, suppose again I am doing current sampling. Current sampling. So in case of current sampling, the thing will be little different. First, let me sketch the basic amplifier. This is basic amplifier. From the basic amplifier, you are having the connection like that. In the farthest end, RL is already connected, and here you are having the sampling network, SN. So how you are going to feed the current? You have to cut it here. You have to cut it here. You have to cut it, and from these 2 points, you have to join 2 lines in the feedback network. Understood? So the connection in voltage sampling and current sampling is a little different. Similarly, in the mixer part, depending upon the current mixing and voltage mixing, the circuit will be little different. So if I go to the mixer part, if I first look at the series mixing of voltage, first I am looking at the series mixing of voltage. I am concentrating now in the mixer part. I am looking at series mixing of voltage. Okay. In the series mixing of voltage, first if I am concentrating here, then I will look at this part, basic amplifier first. Basic amplifier. Suppose this is your basic amplifier, this output circuit, and you are having the mixer device here. This is mixer network here. Here is your feedback network. From the feedback network, what you are going to do? Series mixing of voltage. So in case of series mixing of voltage, the connection will be, this part will be connected directly, and in this part there will be a break, and connection will be like this. Is series mixing. It is going in this way, and this is the input part. I am concentrating here on the mixer part. In the mixer part, how it will be connected? Here it is block diagram, but this is the actual connection. Similarly, if you consider the parallel mixing of current, a shunt mixing of current, if you are concentrating on shunt mixing of current, the connection will be different. In that case, this will be the input, and here you are having the black box. Suppose it is mixer network, and here is your basic amplifier, and in bottom you are having the feedback device, feedback network. From feedback network, this will be connected here and this will be connected there. This is shunt mixing of current, and this is series mixing of voltage. Now again here I am having 4 combinations. With these 4 combinations I can play around and I can generate any kind of feedback devices, that is voltage amplifier, current amplifier, transconductance amplifier and transresistance amplifiers. So I am having now 4 combinations. In case of sampling, I can have voltage sampling, I can have current sampling. In case of mixing, so feedback network starts from the sampling and it is going to end in the mixture. When it is getting started, then you can have 2 options, voltage sampling, current sampling. When it is going to be ended, you are having 2 options, series mixing and shunt mixing, series mixing of voltage, shunt mixing of current. So with the combination of these 4, this is, suppose I call it 1, this is 2 and this is 3 and this is 4. With the combination of, that is 1 with 2, 1 with 3, 1 with 4, 2 with 3, 2 with 4, 2 with 1, you can have different kind of amplifiers. Let us look at that. Now let us look at the different type of amplifiers. First, number 1, voltage series feedback with voltage amplifier. The nomenclature gives you the idea about the amplification and different types of connections. It is voltage series feedback with voltage amplifier. So the circuit will be first the voltage amplifier, here is the sampling device, output, and in the sampling I am taking the voltage series feedback will be in series, and voltage amplifier. In case of voltage amplifier, the feedback should be like that we have already seen. There will be your feedback network, and this input is connected like that, and it is voltage amplifier with voltage series feedback. If it is voltage series feedback, then the connection is like that you have just understood. That in the mixer type, this is the mixer part. In the mixer part you are taking voltage as it is voltage amplifier. First, from voltage amplifier you are understanding that this is, I have to take the voltage like that, but if you want to take the current, you are connecting like in these 2 points, you are taking the voltage out of that, feeding it in the feedback network, and finally connected voltage in series. You understood probably? Number 2, current shunt feedback with current amplifier. Current shunt feedback with current amplifier. Here what you are using, first the current amplifier. It is being connected with the output resistance. What type of feedback it is? Current shunt feedback. Feedback should be in shunt, and with current amplifier you are taking current For amplification, so connection will be in the mixer type. The connection will be like that. You are feeding part of the current here. This is your feedback network Fn, and there is one current source. It is connected with the amplifier. It is current shunt feedback. So in case of shunt connection, you are connecting it like that. Good, done. So this is very easy actually. Just you have to look at the nomenclature and you have to try and understand the circuit. Number 3, another combination. Different combinations may be there. I am trying something out of that. Number 3, current series feedback with transconductance amplifier. Current series feedback with transconductance amplifier. So the name of the amplifier will be transconductance amplifier. Look at that. It is transconductance amplifier with current series feedback. So current series feedback, how it will look like that? Series feedback, but with current. You have to take current from the output. How I can take current from the output? Like this way. So in the output circuit, the circuit diagram will be like that. From the output you are taking current, and what you are feeding in the input? You are feeding in the input voltage, but it is connected in series. This is input voltage or voltage source. Here is your feedback network. It is connected in this way. There is transconductance amplifier. Number 4, the last option, that is trans resistance amplifier with voltage shunt feedback. Voltage shunt feedback with trans resistance amplifier. So your main amplifier will be named as trans resistance amplifier. It is transconductance amplifier. I am writing as TCA, trans resistance amplifier as TRA. So what you are going to feed here from the feedback, here will be your feedback network. In this part there is sampling device. Here in this part you are having mixing device. How will be the mixing? It is told mixing will be voltage shunt. Voltage shunt. So there is a current source. It is connected like that with the trans resistance amplifier. Voltage shunt can be connected like that. A shunt connection in the mixer network. But if you are taking voltage, how you can take the voltage from the output? You have to take the voltage from the output in this way. Connection done. Simple. So look, here also the basic two amplifiers are voltage amplifier and current amplifier. These two are the combination of that. Look at this one. This is the output part like that, and input part is like this one. And here also the input and output are quite similar. Sorry, I am confused a little. These two are the basic amplifiers, voltage amplifier and current amplifier. You can have the combination of these two in transconductance amplifier and trans resistance amplifier. Voltage amplifier and this transconductance number 1, 2 and 3. Look at this 3. The 3 is the combination of output like 2, input like 1. And number 4, here the output is like 1 and input is like 2. Combination of that. So you can work on that. This is very easy. I hope you will understand it when you are doing it your own. Now I am showing you one simple calculation for gain with feedback amplifier. Let me sketch first one simple amplifier circuit. Suppose this is a simple amplifier. From the source I am having one mixer, and from the mixer I am having the amplifier, and it is the output. Here is the feedback device, and feedback is connected with the mixer and the sampling device. This is the most basic connection. I will consider some parameters. First, I am considering that the feedback device is having a feedback factor beta. That is, if the output is V0, then V0 times beta will be again feed in the input. Suppose output is V0 here, a beta into V0 part that will come here. So that this connection is like that, and this is going in this way, this output. What I am trying to calculate, suppose the output is here x0 and input is, basic input is xs, actual input xi, that will be equals to xs minus the subtraction with the feedback, that is xf. I am trying to mention the terms. xs, this term gives you the initial feedback, initial source voltage. xi is the basic input voltage. It is actually equals to xs, but one part is being fed here. If it is negative type feedback, then it will be reduced in amount. It will be xs minus xf, or it may be, you can write it plus minus anytime. Feedback factor here is beta. So what will be the value of xf? It will be equals to beta V0, as output is V0. Now I am considering the gain without feedback is A. Gain without feedback I have considered. The gain without feedback is A. So I can easily write x0 equals to A into xi, and xf equals to beta V0 that I have written. So what will be the value of xi, actual input, that is xs minus xf, that will be equals to xs minus beta V0. So gain with feedback if you consider it is AF, gain with feedback, A suffix F stands for feedback, you can write AF, that will be equals to x0 divided by xs, that is initial source or source voltage. Now if you put the values, the value of x0, what is the value of x0? x0 equals to A into xi. And what is the value of xs? From this equation you can calculate the value of xs. xs, that will be equals to xi minus beta V0. Again it will be xi minus beta V0 equals to A into Vi, or A into xi. So if you take common xi, this will be xi, no, this will be plus xi plus beta V0, this one plus. If you take xi common, it will be 1 plus beta into A. It's simple algebraic calculation. Just you have to look at the calculation carefully and you have to proceed. So this will be xi into 1 plus beta into a. Xi cancels out, you are getting a divided by 1 plus beta into a. Now if you are getting AF, mod of that is greater than a, this will be called a positive feedback. And if you are getting AF, it is less than a, then it will be called a negative feedback. This is all. So just a simple connection, you can proceed, you can generate the relationship between amplification or gain with feedback and gain without feedback with the feedback factor beta. Everything depends upon the value of the comparative value of AF and A. If AF is greater than A, then this will be positive feedback. If it is not, then it will be called negative feedback. Now comes the truth that which feedback is better. Actually, you cannot say which one is better. Both are required in different parts of electronics. Depending upon the need of the outcome, you have to use the particular type of feedback. Generally, we can show, or in books and in semester, you will find some questions like that, so that negative feedback is better than positive feedback. Though voltage is reduced, current is reduced in case of negative feedback, but also that is better. What are the advantages? If you are asked what are the advantages of negative feedback over positive feedback, there are some advantages. The first, you can show the calculation. The calculations are very easy, 1 or 2 line calculation. You can check it out in any book. First calculation is for gain stability. The gain stability is better for negative feedback. Then you can call the noise is less for negative feedback. Then you can call the better bandwidth is better for negative feedback. Then reduction of nonlinear distortion is lesser for negative feedback. Like that, there are certain advantages of negative feedback or what is positive feedback. It can be asked in the semester for 2-number question. You can check out the calculation in any book. I will try to share some pages from the book. Just you have to calculate the gain and show that the gain is greater for negative feedback, noise is lesser, bandwidth is higher, and distortion is lesser. These are the advantages. You can calculate and answer it accordingly. And then comes that you can calculate the output impedance with feedback, and you can calculate the input impedance with feedback. Calculation of input impedance and output impedance with feedback is very easy, and only you have to look at the circuit diagram, that what type of circuit is being used. It is a shunt circuit, or it is a parallel circuit, and it is voltage feedback, or it is current feedback. Then you can calculate it. So I do think that this will be more than enough for the study of feedback circuit. Then I will try to share some pages from the book. Rest of the parts you complete or try to do your own self study. And after that, what I told, that 2 parts you have to do it your own. The first part is output impedance with feedback and input impedance with feedback. Input and output impedance with feedback. This is very general algebraic calculation. Only knowing the circuit diagram you can calculate. You can check it out in any book. Also, I will say I do some pages of the books, and you have to see the calculation for gain and bandwidth. These 2 are important. So that is all. Then in the coming classes, probably I will try to share some video lectures on oscillators, and I have to check it also whether it is included on your syllabus or not. And this is the high time that you share your feedback. Now and then the exam will come, and it will knock on your door, so that time you will not get sufficient time to cover all these things. So my suggestion is that you share your feedback. If you need some problem oriented classes or such kind of thing, then you try to start some conversation. It is going to be only one way. I am doing my job, but I am not getting any feedback from your side. Okay, stay healthy, stay better. Thank you.